Well, just a week after its formation, the 11-strong independent group is meeting today and is polling upwards of 14%, more than the Liberal Democrats. Brexit appears to be the overarching issue that has brought the MPs together, and the group has certainly expressed its willingness to win power. What about policies and principles that form the foundations of any party? With the odds stacked firmly against any new party, is it likely to survive? Well, joining me now are three MPs who are not members of the independent group. They are for Labour, Stephen Kinnock, Vera Hobhouse for the Liberal Democrats, and the Conservative MP and former government whip, Gareth Johnson. Welcome to you all. Now, I know you're not joining it, but does this look to you like the seed of a new party and a new force in British politics?
Not really, to be honest, because it's clear what they're against. They're against Brexit. But it's not very clear what they're for. And when you had,
they're also against the Labour Party leadership and the Conservative Party leadership.
Sure, and that seems to be based on a divergence of values, but there's no real clarity on what the policy platform's going to be. On the day that Anna Soubry defected, she stood up and said that George Osborne's austerity policies had been marvellous. I mean, how on earth are you going to find common cause with that if you're an ex-Labour MP?
Like you and Jeremy Corbyn.
Well, look, I believe that the Conservatives' austerity policies have smashed our economy and have done untold damage to our communities. I could never stand shoulder to shoulder with Anna Soubry and big up George Osborne's austerity policies. So how you find a common policy platform with such divergent views? I'm assuming that my former colleagues Chuka Umunna and Chris Leslie, etc., would agree with that. If they don't, then fine, they can create another sort of Tory-light party if they want. That's not what the country needs. The country needs radical economic reform.
What do you think? Does he look like a new force?
Well, other than the austerity bit, I agree with a lot what Stephen said. Time will tell whether or not this is a group that's going to fizzle out and become very quickly insignificant, or whether it's going to evolve and become a major political party. But it needs to have some kind of mass appeal. And it's difficult to see when it sets itself as being an anti-Brexit party. It's immediately alienating not just those people who voted for Brexit, but also those people who voted to remain but just want us to get on with it. And so other than disaffected Labour supporters who can't support Jeremy Corbyn, it's difficult to see where their support's going to come
Tories,
from.
On the other hand.
Well, we have obviously had the three amigos, as they style themselves to be, supporting them. But I think this is, for the Labour MPs who've defected, about an anti-Corbyn thing. And so I agree with what Stephen's saying. It's more about what they're against than what they're for. And I think they're trying to attract support from people who can't support the Labour Party or the Conservative Party for whatever reason, rather than being positive.
Well, that might be the thing. I mean, the Liberal Democrats, of course, have long tried to do that. Has your fox been shot by the Tiggers?
I think it's an exciting opportunity. I think we know for years now that people are fed up with the old-type politics. And it's mainly what I think people are fed up with is the politics of two main parties, which are in themselves coalitions. But actually, in order to win anything or get anywhere, you have to be a member of one of the two big parties. And the breakup of the two-party politics, I think, is massively exciting.
That used to be the traditional role of the Liberal Party and then the Liberal Party and the SDP and the Alliance. And now people seem to be looking for something else.
Well, I actually look ultimately for electoral reform, because I think to have a plural variety of parties rather than always
we
two big men.
We did have a referendum on that. I hate to remind you.
And that one, okay, these discussions don't go away because our politics is broken and we haven't fixed it. So if this is a step towards fixing politics, I think it's very exciting. I'm happy to work with them. I don't feel very threatened at all. I think there will always be a place for a Liberal Party in British politics. And let's have the representation of different views actually represented by different parties, rather than always just stuck in two blocks.
I mean, when you look at Jeremy Corbyn's Labour Party or the influence of the ERG within the Conservative Party, I mean, there are a lot of centrist people, centre-left and centre-right, who do feel a bit homeless at the moment.
Well, there's certainly a gap from those people who are traditional Labour supporters but can't support the Jeremy Corbyn-led Labour Party, and I think that's where you'll see this new group attracting a lot of their supporters from. You know, one thing that's going to continuously undermine them, though, is this decision by all of them not to call by-elections as well. I think that undermines their legitimacy. I mean, you'll remember, Adam, that when Douglas Carswell and Mark Reckless left the Conservative Party for UKIP, not a decision.
That's a relatively recent innovation.
But they called by-elections, and what that did for them was give them air of legitimacy, which I don't think this group is going to have. They're going to continuously be asked, if you can't trust your constituents to back you, how can you trust the wider electorate to support you?
I mean, but if you are trying to build on the centre ground, you need a bit of time, don't you?
I think it takes time, but I mean, Vera's right. The electoral system mitigates against it. Let's not forget that in 2015, UKIP got 4 million votes and 1 MP. So what will happen with this group is I think their support will be dispersed across the country. But in our electoral system, if you don't have strong regional concentration, you never break through into Parliament. I believe passionately that it's up to Labour MPs who are committed to the traditions, the mainstream traditions of the Labour Party, to stay and fight. My commitment to those mainstream traditions is unconditional. My commitment to the leader is conditional on his or her ability to deliver a Labour Party that is actually going to win elections and govern for the whole country and bring our traditions together. And that, I think, fundamentally is the challenge we have now as a party. I welcome Tom Watson's statement that the Parliamentary Labour Party and its social democratic traditions have to find their voice and put forward our point of view. And we hope that we can bring Jeremy Corbyn on a journey to understand that that's the way to win elections and that is the way to honour the legacy of the people that founded our party.
What's your feeling, Vera? Do you think there are going to be more defectors to this group or not?
Well, let's wait and see how it maps out. But I must come back to actually the rotten electoral system that doesn't allow smaller groups to emerge and actually be successful. And we are talking all the time, the ERG, a party within a party, Momentum, a party within the Labour Party. Why don't people actually feel confident to be a party in themselves? Because the electoral system doesn't allow them to actually survive. So I think it would be so much better for democracy if actually individual smaller parties could survive.
But in that sense, it may be foolhardy, but you think it's brave what these people have done?
Oh, it is absolutely brave. It is difficult, and they will find out how cold it is outside the two main parties. We know that as Liberal Democrats and how difficult it is to actually have electoral success.
OK, we'll leave it there. Thank you all very much indeed for joining.